orthodontists. Welcome to the webinar, Accelerate Your Finishing and Achieve Clinical Excellence. For those who don't know me yet, oh, I'm sorry, now I'm here. We are live, I'm here now with you. For those who don't know me yet, I'm Professor Kleber Meireles, and I'm truly excited to connect with you today. This special class is the first in a series designed to warm you up and get you ready for the big news that's coming in Romania. Are you curious? Are you curious about what I'm talking about? So hold on, because in a few minutes I will explain everything to you so you can understand what's going on, okay? Today, in this webinar, if you want to transform your clinical results, this is what I mean here, through applied biomechanics and elite finishing protocols, you're in the right place, you're in the right spot, okay? If you want to transform your clinical practice, this is what we do. This is what I will show to you how I do that and how I develop protocols that help me throughout all these years studying orthodontics, teaching orthodontics, and practicing it in my daily clinic, daily basis, I mean, okay? It's no secret that biomechanics is one of the most important topics in clinical orthodontics, but it's also one of the most challenging. You know that. Without mastering it, chances are that your treatments will take much longer than necessary. And you feel uncertain about handling a wide range of cases. This is pretty simple and straightforward. If you don't know biomechanics, you may end up with several situations that are very difficult to handle. And that's why I'm doing this series of biomechanics, protocols showing you how I treat. And if you want to do this, I'm pretty sure you can achieve the same results. Why I'm telling you that? Because I have several students from all over the world that are applying the same method, the same way I'm treating, and they are applied. And I know that you probably, if you know me, you probably know that I'm doing that for a long time now. And I pretty much believe that any orthodontist, all of you can do the same thing, because this is very, very simple to apply. This is a straightforward method, so you can achieve the same results in the same time if you do the same thing, okay? So we'll begin shortly, and while more colleagues are joining us, please introduce yourself in the chat. So please type your name so I can read what's going on, where are you from, and please tell me if you can hear me all right, if you can hear the sound, okay? Please type in the chat so I can see everything is all right. And okay, we already have many orthodontists here with us. This is a global event, you know, so I'd love to know in which country you are now, where are you typing from, okay? Drop a comment in the chat so I can read where are you from, okay? And thank you all for being with me today. Your presence shows that you're committed with being a better orthodontist, and you're committed with keeping this practice like the way we can deliver for our patients, the best way we can. So let's keep going, okay? So let me see here. I know many of you are from, okay, many different countries, okay? So guys, when it comes to biomechanics, most orthodontists feel uncertain, as you know. I've been there myself, and I feel nowadays that I can share this experience of doing that for a long time, being in the where I am nowadays, like teaching colleagues from several different countries. I feel that I can give more. And I commit myself every day to a better way of teaching. And that's why I'm doing that for a long time. I pretty much believe that this is the right way to do things. You learn and you share. So that's why I'm doing that. One question: why some cases still stall midway through treatment, or why certain movements don't happen the way you expect? Yeah, maybe you're wondering why some cases are like this, and what happens when I stumble upon a case that I can't solve. Why is that happening to me? Why is that happening to you? And there are several explanations, and all of those explanations, they come to the same point. They are based on wrong a wrong or sloppy diagnosis process, and sometimes bad biomechanics, mistaken biomechanics. So without proper clinical management, you risk compromising your treatments and even creating your own malocclusions, side effects that wasn't there before. So side effects that could be avoided. And do you know the consequence of that? You have dissatisfied patients who don't see the value in your work and won't recommend your service. I was once in your shoes. I was frustrated with long treatments, unpredictable finishings, and that feeling that sometimes I was missing something. I was not delivering treatments with excellence that my patient deserved. Over my 28 years in orthodontics, what changed everything was accessing the right environment, the right people, and the right methodology. The methods that I'm applying now, they are mirroring my own mistakes in the past. I learned with those mistakes, and I ended up evolving in my treatments. And by recognizing those mistakes, by following the photos from my patients from the beginning and during the treatment, I managed to recognize the problems. And I created this method that allow me nowadays to not go through those problems. Meaning, this is why I can accelerate my treatments. It's not about magic. It's not about something that we create that is magnificent, but it's simple tasks that we can put in our treatments, we can establish during our treatments that can help us to understand better the problems and to overcome the problems even before they arise, okay? This is the best way to build the career you deserve, because only then can you deliver high-level results in less time and ensure your patient satisfaction. That's why I'm here for you. Now, as I promised at the very beginning, I have a big announcement to make. And this isn't just about online invitation. It's a unique opportunity that will truly transform your clinical practice. We are going to have a different course in Romania this year. We are going to have a face-to-face course that will allow me to be with you in this strategy of building the right thinking about orthodontics and biomechanics and to deliver the treatments in a straight line. I mean, I will avoid doing this way. I will avoid going through the crooked path between the beginning and the finishing of my treatment, because I will understand what's going on. And this is what I intend to do in this course in Romania. Those are two powerful in-person orthodontic training that I will deliver in Romania this year. I'm gonna tell you more about the details in a few minutes. For the first time, I'm bringing this exclusive methodology to Bucharest with two powerful in-person trainings. You'll have the chance to join one of those, or both if you want, exclusive trainings that will take place before and after the Simply Ortho Congress. Simply Ortho is an amazing congress. It's not just about knowledge in orthodontics. It's also about, especially I would say, about joining this special environment in which we share information and we share our own knowledge and experience. And by doing that with good friends, with colleagues, this is my second time in Simply Ortho. I think it's the fourth edition of this congress, and they are evolving. They are evolving every meeting. They are better and better. The last time I was with them in Dubai, it was an amazing meeting. I got to know some beautiful colleagues from all over the world, and nowadays we can call ourselves friends. I have some good friends that I met in this congress. So this is going to take place 2 days before and 2 days after the Congress in two uh, different schedules of training, okay? What makes this training special is this experience. With only 40 participants per session, you'll benefit from the more personal hands-on approach, okay? Allowing for real interaction, direct feedback that I'm gonna give to you, international network, because we're going to have this opportunity to meet people from different countries and with different knowledge and experience. So let me walk you through what each course will offer and show you exactly what you are going to gain by being part of this exclusive experience. We call it exclusive because it's something new. We are doing something completely new with new ebooks, with new approaches, with new material, visual material. So it's completely brand new course I'm giving to you now. So the first exclusive course will have access to, you have access to in this meeting in Bucharest, is an intensive course that I call Linking Biomechanics to Clinical Excellence. This event takes place on October 29th and October 30th at the Mercury, I think, Mercury Bucharest Unirii, I think, is it here? It will be here, okay? So this is what we are going to do. You are going to learn how forces behind the tooth movement, all the forces that are applied during our treatments, all the setups that we can give to different approaches, okay? So you're going to master vectors, torque and force systems, and transform biomechanical theory into clinical excellence. This is my first goal with you. So those are the dates, and this is what we have. 40 people, 40 participants at most, okay? You are going to gain a true understanding of vectors. You're going to see the force system as something natural because they are there. And when we recognize them, we can skip those pitfalls that we can find, that we can stumble upon when we do these treatments without understanding these vectors, okay? And let me give you just a taste how we are going to do that. We are going to delve deep into something that for me is the most important thing when it comes to finishing treatments faster and with more excellence. Understanding the process. Master the art and science of orthodontic finishing. Diagnose, plan, and apply refined biomechanics for stable, aesthetic, and predictable results. What I mean is, when I see cases like this in our practice, I will walk you through what we are going to see during this first session of our course. We don't just think about what we do. We need to recognize the problems. The first step here is to understand the problems, and by understanding the problems, we directly link the problem to a specific solution. In this case, what I see as a big problem, and this patient came to me with the chief complaint of not seeing her smile in her photos, not seeing her teeth, upper teeth, during smile when she took photos. And she was really upset about it because she wouldn't show those anterior upper teeth, and she knows that it gives to her this older visage, meaning she looks older than she really is. She was at that time 42 years old, and she looked older because of that, because not showing upper anterior teeth. And this is diagnosis. Diagnosis, first of all, it comes with the entire appreciation of what we are seeing, the entire process of recognizing, identifying the problems. And we must, as orthodontists, respect our patient chief complaint. Even though this is something that I wouldn't treat like 10 years ago without surgery, I would tell my patient, the first option is surgery because you have some problems here. I'm going to show this case, this thorough presentation of this case with all the details during our course. But now I'm focusing just on the things that we must see when we have a patient like, the most important thing, I mean, when we see patients like this. We have a counterclockwise mandibular rotation with an almost horizontal occlusal plane in relation to the SN plane. And this occlusal plane, it means a lot in relation to what we are going to do, because we have some options here. Usually what we see in cases like this being treated is focusing on the mandibular retraction. And the biomechanics in this case will have two paths. One path leading to a very long treatment. If you do that, you're not going to have the best outcome that you can give to this patient because of the bad choice about the biomechanics. The other path would be the right way. The right way is to focus on the problem and establish the biomechanics that will help that problem to be solved with the best result in less time. Two different paths. Which one do you prefer? Of course, you want to go first, faster and with more straightforward mechanics, okay? Let's say I will do the way we see it in social media. Would retraction of lower teeth, this is a question, using buccal shelves in this case be the best solution for the problem that we are seeing? If we do that, let's say I want to apply the force to retract lower teeth because it's fancy, it's beautiful, it's trendy. We do that a lot because we think that biomechanics is like this. We just establish one point of application of the force, the best anchorage that we can have, and then we go through and magically everything's going to be perfect. And we see that a lot. Come on, you see that a lot. Huh? You see that a lot. You see people using this type of strategy to help distalize lower anterior teeth, and it's going to help a lot, the distalization of lower teeth. Of course, we need some things to be present here. We need some characteristics that will help us do that. For example, bone availability, mainly bone availability distal to the second molar, because we can see that just taking a look at the panoramic x-ray, you know, because it's a tridimensional area. It's not a bidimensional area. The bone seems to be there in some situations, in some OPGs, but is it really there? Ask yourself, what's going on in the proximity of the apex of the second molar? What's going on there? Do we have bone? We have not cortical bone. I mean, do you have alveolar bone available there? Sometimes you don't. So just a hint, just a tip for you. But let's say I will do that. I have bone. I will distalize. What's going to happen? This is the biomechanics in place, in action. We have the center of resistance of lower dentition as a whole, and we are applying the line of action of the force at this height. And this is going to generate a moment because the line of action is not passing through the center of resistance. It is away from the center of resistance, which is generating the tendency of inclination, which we call moment of the force. And the moment of the force here is going to incline, to angulate, to tilt the occlusal plane this way, going distal, the distalization of the entire dentition as you want, but this is going to happen as well. We're going to have also the intrusion of lower posterior teeth. And because we know that the intrusion of lower posterior teeth will generate a space. It's not really generating a space, but let's think that in two steps. I distalize, I intrude posterior, space generated, then we have the mandibular auto-rotation. Mandibular counterclockwise rotation is going to take place here. Do you want that? Do you want that to happen? Is that your goal? Probably not, because you know that one of the problems that comes also with the patient chief complaint is the absence of showing anterior upper teeth, exposing anterior upper teeth during smile. How can you correct now this? How can you solve this puzzle? How can you solve the problem that a patient brought to you? It's not possible now because you decrease the lower anterior face height, rotate the mandible up and forward, you generate a more protruded mandible and also prevented the correction of the vertical. So this is the wrong way to treat a patient like this. My point is, you know that the problem that you have is going to be solved in one direction, which is sagittal. But what happens to the real problem that the patient brought to us, which is her chief complaint? I don't want to be this way. I want to show more upper teeth. But now I can do that by means of elongating the teeth, upper anterior teeth, with veneers, with resin, whatever. Not the right way. Not the right way to do that, okay? Because you are not generating the correction of the problem that is really there. Let's move on to the next step. What if I do something different? What if I'm just giving you a very short, a very brief explanation of how to do this? What if I increase the lower anterior face height and use in specific mechanics like cantilevers for this? What if? Think about it. By doing that, by generating this clockwise mandibular rotation and applying cantilevers to the upper arch, sometimes we apply to the lower. It depends on the angulation of the occlusal plane. I'm going to explain everything to you during the class, okay? And what we have here, we have the cantilever exerting the force in the anterior segment to extrude, and also exerting the force in the posterior segment to intrude, molar to intrude. But I left the second molar alone, so it goes down, okay? It's naturally and physiologically going down very slowly up to the point that is going to generate a contact, and this is going to fix the wedge effect, the scissor effect, which is increasing the lower anterior face height by extruding posterior teeth, by having more volume in the posterior area, and this is going to generate a contact that we want. Also, meanwhile, while we have this, the extrusion of second molar, we also have the anterior segment going down. When we have contact, we can grind the vertical, we can grind the bite plate that we put in the molar, and then we go down also with the molar, with elastics, and then we correct not only the class 3 more easily, but we also correct the vertical, okay? Because the vertical is together with the sagittal. This is the main point here. Also, this is another tip for you. After correcting the vertical, you must keep the elastics for another 3 months, at least 10 hours a day. Between 10 and 12 hours is what we want, okay? I'm sorry, it was in Portuguese, but it was written this. So we change the occlusal plane, we changed the vertical displacement of the anterior teeth, and also we are going to focus on this diagnosis. The cephalometric diagnosis in several cases is very important. We have cases that we don't even need to use this tool, but in several cases it will help us to understand better what's going on and to establish goals. I know that I need to go down with 5 millimeters, 8 millimeters, whatever, and I'm going to show to you also how to work this out in a practical manner. We have now overjet. Now we are applying distalization of lower with a low line of action of force to increase posterior extrusion, okay? You see here, I'm not using the second molar because I want the second molar to be pushed forward and upright a little bit more, so I have more extrusion, meaning all these things happening here are to achieve a vertical displacement of anterior teeth, a vertical elongation of the lower third, and it will allow us to show more teeth because we're retracting. Remember, this is something about biomechanics as well. Retraction is relative extrusion, and I'm retracting using now the buccal shelf. The buccal shelf is the anchorage for distalizing lower, but with a low line of action of force, meaning biomechanics must work to favor our goals, to favor our outcomes, and this is what's taking place here. So intruding in lower anterior, allowing for more extrusion of upper anterior, and you see before and after. No big deal. I'm going to go very fast here, but I want to show to you the result that we can see in the patient face in the frontal view. Okay, you see the volume of the lower third, you see the volume of the lips, you see that there is a different relationship between the thirds now. The lower third is elongated, giving to her more youth, a youth, a younger, showing a younger picture of her. So she looks younger. In the end here, she looks younger at the end of the treatment, and also we have a better exposure, upper teeth exposure during the smile. This patient is really satisfied with the result because she now thinks she's younger than before, and we know that what happens with time is the opposite. What happens with time is this: we show less upper anterior teeth and more lower anterior teeth, and we managed to reverse that by using this. So this is the natural path, aging. We can reverse it a little bit. Rejuvenation is going to take place when we have this type of protocol. You see what happened? Elongation of the lower third, showing more upper teeth and less lower teeth in this during the process. So this is what we do when we apply the right concept of the biomechanics to link to the diagnosis and treatment planning. So you see during the treatment and 1 year after treatment, we still have the exposure of upper teeth, and she's completely satisfied with the outcome, which is what we want. Huh? Ultimately, this is what we want, to satisfy our patients. And take a look at this. This is something, of course, we could have a better result if we went through the process of the surgery. A surgical treatment would probably give her a better facial volume, okay? But this is something that is without surgery. So this is a secondary treatment planning based on what our patient wanted. She didn't want surgery. She was exposed to this option, and she immediately refused. I don't want that. I don't want surgery. I've been there. I heard a lot about it. I've been to several orthodontists before you, and I don't want surgery. So what is the other option? This is the other option, and it's a good option. For me, it's a good option, okay? So we have here and the rotation of the mandible, okay? So this is what happened. Okay, and there's something even more interesting during this course that we're going to see, which is the practical part of torque. Torque, you know that torque for me is one of the most important knowledge that we as orthodontists must master. Why? Because by mastering the torque, we can have better outcomes and we can control the mechanics during the process. So during the course, we're going to delve deep into the real and the relative torques, so we can the indication for each torque, the right indication for each stage of the orthodontic mechanics. What is the best thing to do in this stage, at that other moment, what we're going to do. And we need to understand what to do to avoid certain pitfalls, certain traps that are present in our treatments, and you know that. We know that, huh? And those traps, they are most of the time based on a lack of knowledge about this, about the couple in orthodontics. Huh? So we know what to do. We know what we need to do with prescriptions. If we want to use prescriptions, we need to understand the right way to use the prescription that we have. We can have more or less inclination of upper and lower teeth. And those prescriptions, they must be part of our armamentarium. But they are not everything. They are just part of the solution. And they are only solutions when we manage to change the way to apply the prescription, not thinking just about class 2 or class 3, but about the mechanics itself, about not finishing, but during the treatment. And those prescriptions that we're going to delve deep into, they are mainly related to finishing treatments. And I'm going to show to you, in my mind, the right way to do that. But in my mind, I'm going to say in my mind, it's not only my opinion. I'm saying that there is a there's a biomechanical logic behind that. For example, here, it's not my opinion that if you just insert a certain arch wire, you can ruin your compensatory treatment. Not my opinion, it's a fact. So what I'm gonna show to you that those facts, class 3 for example, when we do when we run the sequence of arch wire and we reach the rectangular arch wire, I mean those facts, I mean the fact of inserting a rectangular arch wire is going to generate a bad side effect like this, because the rectangular arch wire, it will generate a certain type of couple. The moment of the couple is going to change the inclination of those anterior teeth. Because the prescription that you chose for that was not the right, I don't know. You don't even need to use another type of prescription other than standard. I only use standard prescription. I don't use other prescriptions in my office because I don't need them. And you don't need them. Sometimes we use them for saving time, saving chair time, but it's not necessary, completely mandatory, because we can manage to correct this without the prescriptions. Sorry, without the prescriptions. There's a click. And what we are doing here is inserting a rectangular arch wire with a relative torque that can ruin our compensatory treatment, and we may end up like this. I'm not saying that's going to happen in all cases, but I've seen that a lot because some colleagues send to me their cases so I can give them advice. I can provide them some type of tip, with some type of tip. But what I usually see is it wasn't meant to be that way. It didn't need to be that way. You could have done something different, I think, in my mind, of course, to prevent that to happen, which is just this simple knowledge of the couple in orthodontics can save you from doing some bad mechanics during our treatments. So the prescriptions, okay, they can help us, and they sometimes can help us a lot, but you know, the prescriptions may be thought this way, not about finish, but mainly about the mechanics. You see what happens here? We have a certain type of prescriptions, a prescription with a certain type of torque. We don't have enough time now just to think about it, but think about it. The certain type of prescription, some certain types of prescriptions that we are using in our mechanics, they are not meant to be for finishing. They're not meant to finish the treatment, but they will help you during the process of trying to avoid moments generated by the force. Because we know that we just have two moments in orthodontics: the moment of the couple, the torque, and the moment of the force that you're seeing here in yellow. So we have the moment of the force, and we have at some point the moment of the couple that will act to counteract the moment of the force to obtain a better control during the mechanics. Rarely you're going to need to make a movement in the lower arch with a bodily translation, a bodily movement. So the way to understand the right center of rotation is by understanding the process of applying the moment of the force and the moment of the couple to balance each other, so you can have you can move the center of rotation towards the position you want. Of course, it's not that precise, but this is a way to think about it. You must understand the prescriptions and how they can work better for you. Is it going to help me if I use a high prescription, a high torque, a low torque? It depends on the mechanics. Not about finishing. About finishing is a sloppy mechanics. Why? Because during this entire process of correcting the sagittal, the forces that are, the system of forces that are present there, they are not going to be solved by using a finishing prescription. But for a movement, a translatory, as Andrew Andrews would call it. I don't really believe translatory is the best. Uh, Translatory prescription is the best way to explain it. But okay, this is how he called, and he's our hero in orthodontics. So we stick to the term. But look, we are doing here something different from just using a finished prescription. Using a prescription to help us move the teeth, move the occlusion towards the right position with more control. So this is something that can help us a lot. And we need this type of help, especially because we don't have enough bone at this area, okay? I'll save it for another time. So guys, this is the way to apply this thinking. If you don't use prescriptions, special prescriptions, as I don't use special prescriptions, I need to understand much better this. The relationship between the real torque and the relative torque, okay? So this is what we call the real torque, the torque applied directly to the wire, and there is a right way to apply this torque as well. I'm gonna show it to you. And this wire, when inserted inside a slot, will generate a certain relationship between the cross-section of the rectangular arch wire and the slot of the bracket. The inclination of the wire and the inclination of the slot must match at this specific stage of our mechanics, which is the first arch wire, rectangular arch wire that you are inserting. It will save you a lot of time, okay? Now let's talk about the second course, the Orthodontic Finishing Lab, as I'm calling it. It's going to take place after the Simply Ortho on November 2nd and 3rd. And this is the same venue, at the same venue, Mercury Bucharest Uniri, I think this is the name, okay? This is where you will master the art and science of orthodontic finishing, learning to diagnose, plan, and apply refined biomechanics for stable aesthetic and also predictable results. Predictable results come from this. We know what we are doing based on what we are seeing, okay? You start by discovering the secrets about an accurate facial and dental diagnostics, and also the cephalometric ones, which are crucial for achieving a truly aesthetic finishing. And let me tell you, understanding how to read and interpret dental exposure, smile design, and facial profiles can completely transform your finishing results. For sure. Take a look at this case, for example. This is a case that was being under treatment for, this is a patient that was under treatment for 4 years. And she came to me complaining about this. Same thing as before, as I showed you before. The bad exposure, the insufficient exposure of upper teeth, and she was not really satisfied with her smile and her find the ideal magnitude of change, the ideal number for the lower anterior face. Let's say I want to have this because I want to keep motions. What's the best relationship. And look at this. I'm doing this using a facial scanner. You can do that with your photos, and I'm going to show to you both because you need to be prepared for the changes that are coming with time, okay? And they are rising. We are changing every day. You know the speed of change that we see nowadays because of all we are experiencing with the AIs and all this stuff. There's always and every day coming up. So this is new. This facial scanner, the three-dimensional way of applying the diagnosis to the face is something new and it's coming very fast. So I need to show to you that, okay? So this is the scanner. You see, okay, the volume of the face changing. And by doing that and showing to the patient what is my approach for that case, for her case, she will understand and she will comply. I don't know if here in Brazil, at least, we are having this trend towards the aligners for all cases. But think about it. What we ultimately need to do is to deliver the best for our patients. At the end of the day, what makes a real difference is not the number, okay, is the outcome that they see. And when we go through aligners, to the aligner treatment, I love aligners. I have several aligner cases that I love, but we need to put the aligners in the right biomechanics, with the right biomechanics in the right patient, the right treatment, I mean, okay? So I need to choose the right approach for each patient. Those cake recipes with aligner, they won't work for all cases. And prepared ways of treating class 2 or class 3, they won't work. They will not work properly for all patients. And this is a bad thing to deliver to our patients. The device. We use the device only to help us treat better our patients, not as the main goal. The device is just something that I use. It's not the star of the treatment. This is what I mean. Aligners in this case won't help this patient, wouldn't have helped her. Why? Because they are encapsulated. For very fast extrusive movements, they won't help you. Believe me, they won't help you. I've tried that before, okay? So let's move on. So this is the way she came to me, this way, with this brackets in position. I changed everything and I explained to her, we're going to do this. This patient is only 3 months under treatment. I'm gonna just show to you what I'm doing. Same protocol, based on the same diagnostic process and based on the same biomechanics. I'm extruding upper anterior teeth and I'm doing that slowly. Every consultation, every other appointment, I will do this based on this approach. Take a look, 3 months, and take a look what we're seeing now. A better face, better volume, and I will increase it further and further until I reach what I want. Overcorrection is very important in those cases, okay? And you must be thinking now, well, but is it stable or not? Why not? Oh, because it's a patient that's a break facial pattern and it's not. Who told you that? Where is the solid scientific evidence that is not stable? This is just assumption. Let me tell you now. You know, we do that a lot in our daily practice. We do that when we do a reverse pull of the maxilla during growth. We do that in patients that are surgical patients. We do this, we displace the maxilla and mandible down, and we know that depending on several variables, it can be more or less stable. But if you stick with the process, with the method that you're using to keep it, I really believe that you're going to stay with this type of outcome for a long time. At least you're going to give your patient more that bonus for aging better. Who knows, 10 years, and then you have a move, something changing, but it's not a relapse. It is not a relapse, it's maturation. It's maturation. Come on. If you have a wrinkle and you go to the plastic surgeon and remove that, you can't complain in 10 years that it came back. It's maturation, you're aging, and it's natural. So for this type of mechanics, for this type of thing, I really believe, because I have several patients 4 and 5 years after treatment that are keeping it. Of course, I can't claim that this is science, because there is no science behind saying that it's completely unstable or not, okay? So we are just building the science behind this now. What can we do? This is pretty new. I searched in the literature, just found two articles showing something similar to this. Okay, so this is new, and we are walking through this path. We need to really be very precise about what we do and to follow up with time. Okay, so this is, guys, for this patient, the changes that we are seeing, and also the smile. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't show. Oh, I will save it for. Why didn't it happen? Should have something here to show to you. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll update this. Her smile. Next, you'll learn smart mechanics and planning strategies that actually accelerate finishing phase, including how to make key decisions early and like customize bracket positioning to save time and also avoid setbacks later in your treatment. You also dive into advanced finishing biomechanics. You see how to use bands, torques, elastics, cantilevers, and hybrid protocols with aligners and fixed appliance, with both aligners and fixed appliance, to overcome the problems and to finish your cases faster and with more precision. The real tools that separate ordinary from extraordinary results. In my mind is this. If you do that, I would just give you a very simple explanation about it. For example, this patient came to me like at this stage and wasn't really satisfied with what was going on. And because of that, he came to me. I'm just not confident that my previous orthodontist is doing the right thing, because we are trying to do things for a long time and nothing is happening, and I'm not seeing the end of the tunnel, the end of the treatment here. So simple thing, recognize the problem: posterior crossbite, lower midline shift, unleveled marginal ridges. So those are the problems that we are seeing here. The other side, again, same thing here. We have class 3 in this side, and also uneven marginal ridges, unleveled marginal ridges. So what I'm doing, finding the solutions, what I'm doing here, I'll use cross elastics in this side, and the other side class 3 elastics, and also step bends, so I could correct the unleveled marginal ridges. And you see that it took place between 1 to 2 months. So this is very simple. I don't understand why we don't pay attention to these signs that are so visible. They are there for us. We just need to pay attention to them. Cross elastics in this side. We also have here the band, extrusion band. It's not intrusion. I'm so sorry for this. Extrusion band and intrusion step band. Here it is. Intrusion, yes, down and up. Come on. And also we need to understand what to do. It's not about the band. It's always about the side effects that everything that we do in orthodontics will generate, and to anticipate those side effects. I know that when I intrude posterior second molar with a band, I also have the tendency of a buccal inclination of that crown, and I want to avoid that. How can I avoid that? By using another band, step in band. So step down plus step in will give me the outcome that I need, will give me the result that I need. And here we have what we want. Of course, again, I'm not saying and thinking this is magic. I'm here for a long time to know that it's not magic, but we need to adapt and adjust every new consultation, every new appointment. The patient come to your office, you adjust. It went more down or more buccal, so I will adjust the magnitude of the bands accordingly. And here we have, so we managed to correct that, and after that we just used for a longer time elastics, 3 other months, so 12 hours a day, and then we have this. So what I'm telling you by using just this simple case. But this simple case, even though we see that it is simple, it was under treatment for 4 years. No, 2 years, this one. Less than 2 years. I don't know exactly, but approximately 2 years. And the patient was, nothing is happening. And I go there and she tells me, we're finishing, but I don't see the corrections. I don't bite the way I should. And so those information coming from this patient showed me that the previous orthodontist was a little bit lost about understanding the problems, and designing the right solution for those problems. Okay? And finally, we'll break down clinical finishing protocol step by step, so you know exactly how, when, and for how long to use each technique to avoid relapse and ensure long-term stability. Just like this first event, this is the same type of group, 40 orthodontists with the new tools that are created for this course, which are the videos, which are the new ebooks, and the new ways of doing that in this group. We'll be in a U-shaped room with people helping us, and we are going to deliver this. You're going to see how to do, to insert mini implants, to use the TED, to use the loops, to use the bands, to use the elastics. So this is bringing to the clinical environment, not only clinical, but thinking about the clinical environment with the printed models. We are going to explain these protocols and use these protocols and use the TEDs and use the loops. So this is going to help you see how you need to do things, okay? So this is, let's talk about the price, okay? This is an exclusive offer valid until the August 12th, okay? Let me be completely transparent with you now. Each of these in-person events with all the practical training, real world cases, like I'm gonna show to you the cases and all the problems generated in those cases and the solutions, and also the international ADA certification, it's valued at approximately, I try to figure out in other courses, 1,307 euros. And honestly, for the level of transformation of this hands-on training, this is something that is, I think, is not really expensive, okay? But since this is a special launch now, and because I want to make it possible for many people from all over the world to join us in this course, to participate in this course, we are now opening this early bird promotion just for those who act quickly, just for those who want really to commit themselves to this, okay? If you secure a spot by August 12th, you pay only 947 euros per event, okay? Per event. So that's over 360 savings in this type of early bird promotion, okay? So take care and don't miss this opportunity. Also, if you want to do the combo, if you want to go to both courses, I want to make this opportunity even better for you. If you're ready to take this option and to join us in these two courses, we have this combo option here. When you enroll in both courses, in both events, you unlock an additional 20% off. So instead of 2,614, you pay just 1,515 for the complete experience. That's the lowest price you'll ever see for this type of program, okay? So this is what we can do. Yes, let's see. Oh yes, you can also choose to split this payment into three installments, so you can also do that. If you're serious about advancing your clinical results, don't miss this chance. Spots are really limited to just 40 participants per session, and the early bird and combo discounts are only available for a very short time. Don't miss this opportunity. Let's go on. Enrollment is officially open for both in-person training. So if you want to do that, this is open now for you. This intensive course linking biomechanics to clinical excellence and the orthodontic finishing lab. Securing a spot is very simple. Just point your phone camera at the QR code you're seeing on the screen, and you'll be taken straight to the registration page. So just take a screenshot, just point your camera, not take a screenshot, just point your camera and you go directly to the link to register for these events, okay? Our venue at the Mercury Bucharest, Uniri, is located at Mircea Voda 28, right in the heart of the city. You enjoy modern, comfortable facilities, and you'll be just 5 minutes from major attractions in Bucharest, as the Parliament House, the vibrant Old Town nightlife, and we've secured a special partnership with the Mercury to offer exclusive rates for our attendees. If you want to be there at the Mercury, you can do that with our special discount. So beyond Mercury, you also find several other excellent hotels nearby. And there are plenty of Airbnb options for those who prefer a more private stay. Whatever you prefer, comfortable and convenient accommodations is just steps away. So don't miss this opportunity. Traveling to Bucharest is also very accessible. I'm reading it now. The city is a hub for low-cost flights, and with connections from more than 100 cities in 40 different countries across Europe, North Africa, and Middle East, operated by over 40 different airlines. The main airport is Henry Coanda. It has direct flights from most European capitals and many major cities, and often for less than 100 euros round trip. Wow, very good, eh? If it is booked in advance, of course. Let me read it again. Once you land it, it's quick to transfer for the city center. And for those coming from Simply Ortho, wow, Simply Ortho, don't miss it, guys. It's very good. It's easy. The Mercury Hotel Bucharest is only 2.6 kilometers from the Radisson Blu Hotel, just a 7-minute drive or 25-minute walk. That means you can seamlessly enjoy both events without any hassle. I'm sorry, I needed to read it because I can't really remember everything. So this is the venue you're seeing here at the screen, and the U-shape I mentioned before, the U-shape room. We have very good places to visit nearby. So Bucharest is one of the most vibrant cities in Europe. Beautiful place to visit, guys. Very beautiful place to visit. So don't miss this unique spot, unique opportunity, because the spots are limited, and with so many international orthodontists already interested, we expect the spots to fill very fast, okay? Click the link in the chat now to secure a place. The chat is running here, as you can see, and be part of this exclusive experience in Bucharest. So I want you there with me. I'm very excited with all those new things I'm bringing to this course, and this is for me as well something very exciting and new, because I just studied a better way to deliver these courses, and I think I found a very good way to do that, better than before, with this new experience, with new ebooks and new videos and new step-by-step videos and all the things that I'm gonna provide to you during the course. See you there.